class and what we can do. The people have to come, they have to die, and all those things I said, but it didn't work. Then I was, that time I'm talking about 1995-96. Just imagine, at that time I was a fresher teacher. Then I was in charge of the magazine, and I used to collect the articles from the students for the magazine. Then I started thinking what to do with this boy, that he should be the like previous boy. He was very active and very energetic. Then I told him one day that, Naeem, do you know that your articles has been selected in the magazine for the magazine? And then this magazine is going to be printed, because we used to have the hard copy of the magazine, and it goes in the hands of, we had 3,500 students, so it will go in the hands of 3,500 students with so many families, and then it will, your name, your photo will go in everywhere. Suddenly his face brightened and he was so happy, and next day onwards I found that he used to come to me and he used to ask me, man, when is that magazine going to be out? And slowly, gradually, he came to the normal routine. So, my dear teachers, you never know how much is your influence. Even your one sentence can bring miracles. So, always we have to be very optimistic. Even the student is very, very bad, and maybe somewhere heart, deep in the heart, we believe this child is not going to do anything. But in that situation also, our tongue should not utter any negative word. That is going to harm the child. His whole personality will be crushed. So we have to be always positive, always motivating, always saying the positive things, that yes, you can do it and you are going to achieve many things in life. Now, next story, my third story is about Beethoven. We all are aware of this famous musician. And when he was at the peak of his career, he started losing his hearing skills. Now imagine a musician without listening, without hearing, how he is going to compose music. So it was a moment where he has to take a decision of either retiring from the music and lead a very comfortable life, or take the decision of developing his other senses so that he can compose the music in such a perfect way that without listening the music is so perfect and everybody can appreciate. So he selected the second path. Not focus on his shortcoming, not focus on his loss of hearing, but focus on his skill and mastery of the music. That's what we have to do in life. Not focusing on our shortcoming. This problem, that problem, this has come, that has come, ministering, saying this wife is like that, children are like that, and I have not money to do my PhD, what to do? These are all excuses. If we want something in life, God will help us to achieve that. And without grumbling, now the second last story is the story of burnt classroom in Japan. So when Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we all are aware of that, when the entire place was burnt out, naturally schools, colleges, everything burnt. In that situation, when the engineers were taking the measurement how to build, when the doctors were taking care of the physical health of the people, what the teachers started doing? They said, let them do their task. Like policymakers will take time, engineers will take time, builders will take time. Why we stop it? Let us start building the nation now under a tree. And they started teaching the next moment. They didn't wait for the building to be constructed. They didn't wait that facilities to be provided. One teacher, one student. That's enough. Nothing else is required. You are the storehouse of the knowledge that you can transfer to the students. So a teacher has that influence. My dear teachers, we have to remember that. And the last story of today is that I'm going to end with that story. That is the story of the starfish. Many a times we have heard this story, but whenever I read this story or whenever I listen this story, I really feel that 100% it is true. A boy who was walking on the shore where hundreds of starfishes were lying, and he was picking one starfish, throwing in the sea. One passerby said that, what are you doing, foolish boy? Hundreds of starfishes and you are taking one by one, one by one. How many can you save? And how it is going to make a difference? What difference it is going to make? Then the child picked another starfish and threw in the sea and said, it is going to make the difference on this starfish. Maybe not on hundreds, but this starfish that's thrown in the water, that starfish will be alive. So, my dear teachers, not all the students, not the whole world, not the whole country, but one child at a time we can influence. One person at a time we can bring change in the lives of the person. So, today, on this occasion, when we are here at a very, very prestigious name, the university, Bolton University, let's all pledge that as educators, as trainers, as coaches, as mentors, we have to be always very optimistic. We have to focus on the strength, not the weaknesses, and we have to bring this world to a point where we should not struggle for the sustainability, but sustainability will become a routine, a norm, and we will have a very, very brighter future for everyone, for the generations to come.